The first time audiences laid eyes on Margot Robbie, kneading bread in slow-motion fingers pressing deep into dough, eyes heavy with something far beyond hunger, the internet collectively lost its composure. That was the opening shot of the teaser trailer for Emerald Fennell's Wuthering Heights, released by Warner Bros. On September 3. And it announced, without any ambiguity, that this would not be your grandmother's Brontë. Fennell, the Oscar-winning writer-director behind Promising Young Woman and the polarizing erotic thriller Saltburn, has turned her lens toward one of English literature's most enduring obsessions. Emily Bronte's 1847 novel, a story of savage longing, class warfare, and love that curdles into something closer to possession, has been adapted for the screen more times than most people can count. But none of those versions arrived quite like this one. Set to a remix of Charli XCX's Everything is Romantic, with Jacob Elordi whispering into Robbie's ear, "I can follow you like a dog to the end of the world." The footage that followed that whisper became an immediate cultural flashpoint. In under 2 minutes, viewers were treated to corsets being laced and then cut open with scissors, fingers dragged through egg yolks, a horse tack strapped across a woman's face, and a close-up of Kathy pressing her fingers into Heathcliff's open mouth. The final frame shows the two of them face to face on the moors, his hand trailing down her body, his voice asking if she wants him to stop. She tells him no. Then the screen goes dark. Fennell has spoken openly about her reverence for the source material. At an event premiering the teaser, she described Wuthering Heights as her favorite book, one she first read at 14 and has returned to nearly every year of her life, and then countless times again during production. Her ambition, she said, was to create something genuinely transformative, not simply a faithful period piece, but a tribute to the golden age Hollywood romances she grew up watching, something that would hit audiences the way a great love story is supposed to hit them, in the chest, without warning. Robbie, who serves as both lead actress and producer on the film, described the project as epic in the truest sense of the word. She talked about the world Fennell constructed as one so fully realized that audiences would feel physically transported into it, the moors, the cold manor houses, the suffocating social hierarchies that make Catherine and Heathcliff's connection so impossible and so magnetic at the same time. Robbie and Fennell have worked together before. Robbie produced both Promising Young Woman and Saltburn, making this collaboration a deepening of what is clearly a creatively symbiotic relationship. Elordi, for his part, came to the role of Heathcliff without an audition. Fennell simply offered it to him directly. He revealed in an April 2025 interview with IndieWire that he had been contemplating stepping away from acting altogether before the offer arrived, which makes his presence in the film feel, depending on how you look at it, either like fate or like very good timing. His casting, however, has not been without controversy. Heathcliff is described in Bronte's novel as dark-skinned, and a significant portion of the audience and critical community have argued that the role should have been given to an actor of color. Casting director Carmel Cochran addressed the backlash directly, drawing a distinction between literary adaptation and biographical accuracy, and arguing that the film's creative vision takes precedence over strict textual fidelity. The debate has continued regardless. The supporting cast surrounds Robbie and Elordi with substantial talent. Hong Chow, acclaimed for her work in The Menu and The Whale, plays Nellie Dean, the housekeeper whose narration anchors much of Bronte's original story. Shazad Latif, known for Star Trek, Discovery, and Magpie, takes on Edgar Linton, the wealthy and decent man Kathy chooses over Heathcliff. Alison Oliver, who appeared in Saltburn, plays Isabella Linton. Emmy nominee Owen Cooper, fresh off his breakout role in the Netflix series Adolescence, makes his feature film debut as the young Heathcliff. Charlotte Mellington plays young Catherine. Martin Clunes and Ewan Mitchell, the latter also a Saltburn alumnus, round out the ensemble in roles that have not yet been fully disclosed. Behind the camera, cinematographer Linus Sandgren, who won an Oscar for La La Land and previously worked with Fennell on Saltburn, brings his signature painterly quality to the film's visuals. The Yorkshire Dales serve as the primary backdrop, their raw and unforgiving landscapes functioning not merely as setting but as emotional landscape. Sandgren captures everything from moody, candlelit interiors to wide, windswept exteriors that make the moors feel like a character unto themselves, brooding and ungovernable. One shot from the teaser, of Heathcliff sitting alone on the hillside as the land stretches endlessly behind him, has already been singled out by viewers as quietly devastating. The film's soundtrack is an original score by Charli XCX, whose music has run throughout the promotional campaign and whose sonic aesthetic simultaneously nostalgic and abrasive, deeply romantic, and slightly unhinged maps onto Fennell's directorial sensibility with an almost suspicious degree of precision. Wuthering Heights had its Los Angeles premiere on January 28, and the first wave of critical reactions arrived swiftly and with considerable enthusiasm. Variety's Jazz Tangcay called it a scorching hot and twisted tale and praised the chemistry between Robbie and Elordi as operating on an entirely different level of heat. Collider's Meredith Loftus highlighted the film's production design, costumes, and Charli XCX's score as elements that allow Fennell to lean fully into the passion and obsession at the story's core. Others used words like impeccable, breathtaking, and devastating language that suggests the film landed exactly as intended, as something that gets under your skin and stays there. The film opens in theaters on February 13, timed, pointedly, to Valentine's Day weekend. A marketing choice that is either playfully romantic or deeply ironic, given that Wuthering Heights is a story about love that annihilates rather than redeems. Either way, it seems like exactly the kind of joke Fennell would appreciate. Now the question falls to you. Is Emerald Fennell's Gothic reinvention of Wuthering Heights the adaptation this story has always deserved, or is something essential lost when a classic is remade in the image of contemporary desire? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more coverage like this first looks, cast breakdowns, and everything the trailers don't tell you, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.